Welcome back, guys. Back with another one here, and today's workout plan is to hit these pause deadlifts and then go into a push press. After the push press, I'm doing swinging Richard WOD. It's pretty challenging, pretty fun. And then the last exercise I'm doing barbell bends. I think pause reps might be one of the most underrated uses, or at least one of the underrated uses of an exercise or just a rep scheme in your exercise. So in this one, I'm trying to do a 3-second pause at the knee, and then coming up. I don't really do much hamstring exercises like leg curls or lying leg curls or Nordic curls or anything like that. So this one really hit my hamstrings. I'm really focusing on squeezing the glutes and the hamstrings so that my lower back doesn't take over. It's also great for if you have like weak hamstrings or underdeveloped hamstrings. This one was tough. And you always want to choose a challenging enough weight. I'm only doing 4 reps here, so I can go a little bit heavier than usual. But if I was like doing 10 reps, I probably would only be hitting about 205 or maybe even less. Because I still want that focus to be on the hamstrings and the glutes during this exercise. On the final set here, lower back is feeling good. Everything was feeling really good. So still trying to focus on keeping that back tight, core tight, stomach embraced. Towards the end of these sets, I'm not really pushing through with my hips as much. So doing that, learning from that, doing that moving forward is going to be super helpful. In this one, I had made a mistake in the recording, so I'm only showing 2 sets of push press, but I'm actually doing 3 sets of push presses. As mentioned in previous videos, this is kind of where my shoulder really started to act up from the previous workout when I was doing a lot of front rack holdings, like front rack side lunges and other front rack holding like walks. That kind of like jacked up my left shoulder. So like I've been taking a lot of rests like this whole week where I'm recording these, speaking over these exercises, as I've been resting for about a week, avoiding pushes, avoiding any form of push, overhead, pull up, or even like a bench press. So I'm really dialing it back, and my videos probably won't be as interesting or as much weight being pushed around. But maybe if you have like a shoulder injury or a shoulder that's been bothering you, these next few videos in the next couple weeks are going to probably be something you can learn from. And I've just been doing a ton of research in my master's program about doing healing for rotator cuff injury. So I plan on implementing that in the next few videos that I've been recording this coming up week as well. So right here I'm doing the swinging Richard exercise where I have using row. You can swap the row if you don't have row, or you can do runs. In the program that I'm using, they have me either choosing to do rows or to do running or sprints, and then you do 50 kettlebell swings in between, so right after. It's a good way to challenge yourself. So as mentioned, you can do for the first round, it's going to be 25 calorie row, or you could do a 300-meter run. And the second set kind of lit me up. This is where I kind of got really tired. And what? So many repetitions of kettlebell swings, your glutes are on fire and your hamstrings are on fire. So when you go from that to sitting down on this rowing machine, your glutes hurt and it burns. Still got to get after it. This second one I'm doing 35 kilocalorie row. Try to burn as much as 35 as quick as you can. And then again, right after this set of rowing, you jump right into those kettlebell swings. The good thing is it's only 3 sets of the rowing, but that last row you'll be able to see it where I'm taking breaks in between the rowing, just because my sitting muscles are just on fire. And it's a different type of cardio as well. So you're using strength to push the weight, and then also pulling the resistance for the rowing is also challenging. So this is the second set of kettlebell swings. I'm using one of my 3 kettlebells that I own. This one's 52 pounds or 1 stone. I'm going for 50 reps. And kettlebell swings are pretty easy once you get the momentum down. But towards that higher end of reps, you're just midsection is on fire. Hamstrings, hip flexors, extenders, glutes, lower back. Even your wrists are a little burning just from holding the momentum of the weight. It can get pretty tough. And the goal is to try to bring it up to shoulder level. So you see some of them kind of shortening, especially this final set here. I'm kind of shortening the height of those kettlebell swings just because I'm so tired already. Still do your best though to try to push through that challenge. And you can scale down obviously, right? If 25 calories on a rowing machine or 300-meter run is something that's a little bit more challenging for you, you can definitely scale down to like do half of it. So instead of a 300-meter run, you do a 150-meter run. And then instead of 400, you do 200. Instead of 500, you do 250. So just take your time. We're all at our each own level. So don't try to push yourself too much where injury can happen. You'll be in a shoulder predicament the way I was, or am currently, which can kind of set you back. So the final row here, right here, there's the break that I'm telling you about. I just got to stand up and just let the blood flow. Because sitting down kind of compresses that blood flow, and it kind of like keeps that burning sensation for longer. The rowing is easy by itself, right? Doing 45 calorie row or the 35, that's easy if you do sets like that. But it's the combination between the two of jumping back and forth, because you're using similar muscles for this rowing of pushing yourself back. You're using some hamstrings. Yes, you're using quads, but you're still using your hamstrings to kind of extend and to pull yourself in, and your wrists to hold the kettlebell, and your shoulders to pull back, and your lats to pull back. That's the tough part, is the transition between the two. Standalone 50 kettlebell swings, it's a lot, it's high reps. Yes, it can be challenging, but the combination of including those two, that superset, that's where it gets real tough. So I was finishing up here, and I was spent. I think I like finished it, sat down on the rowing machine for a few seconds, transitioned over to something much softer, my bench with a pad on it, and just relaxed for a few minutes, and then jumped in the final exercise, which is barbell side bends. Instant pain. So I finished this workout with 3 of these. I'm focusing on the core, rotating. I do my best to try to implement those rotational exercises where it's just not forward or backward. So that way my side muscles are functional movements, everyday life type things, reaching to the side or rotating over. These exercises are being used, these muscles are being used so that I can not get injured in the day-to-day activities. Again, if you guys like the video, go ahead and do so. If you guys want to continue seeing this stuff, go ahead and hit the subscribe button. I'm never going to ask you to do it for a favor. Other than that, thank you guys.